A computer built around a web browser might seem like an odd idea, but with more of our digital life being given to cloud computing, Chromebooks might make a lot of sense if you're looking for a lightweight, relatively cheap computer right now. And in this roundup, we'll be talking you through some of the pros and cons of life fully online, and some of our favorite Chromebooks out there. The idea of a Chromebook might seem strange, but once you think about daily computing life, there's actually not a lot we do outside of a web browser. Running on ChromeOS, this is what Chromebooks limit you to. It might sound a bit restrictive, and yes, you are suddenly beholden to your internet connection for the best experience. But in reality, you can stream TV, you can listen to music, you can use Office suites like Google Docs and Microsoft Office, you can stay in touch with friends and do tons of other things all inside the browser window. So for many of us, we don't need anything else. Google has definitely had a think about this, and the latest Chromebooks are adding more flexibility with their ability to run Android apps. So if there's anything you can't do within a browser window, there's a good chance there's an app that can. Being browser-based and with frequent updates from Google, security is also really good with Chromebooks. Though, as everything goes through your Google account, password security becomes even more paramount. In testing the ChromeOS world, we've been looking at some of the new Chromebooks out there to bring you some of our favorites. And if any of our picks interest you, be sure to check out the links in the descriptions for the best deals. First one up is one for the business class users. HP's C640 Chromebook is a sleek and professional looking laptop that can handle all-day use and costs around £698. This Chromebook is running on Intel's 10th generation i7 processor, which is more than capable of handling web tasks and keeping your productivity high. But what really helps this one is the 8GB of RAM, because we found in testing that Google Chrome just loves to chew through memory. We found its display to be colourful, if a little dim in bright environments, and while the speakers aren't going to win the affection of any audio enthusiasts, your video calls will be audible. We liked this HP Chromebook for its build quality and performance, though we think the screen makes it a less than ideal companion for movies. But if spreadsheets are more your thing, you can find a link to buy this Chromebook in the video description. If it's a streaming experience you're after though, Acer's Chromebook 317 is the one we'd recommend, costing around £399. This boasts a 17.3-inch screen, a world first, and those extra inches really make the difference for streaming. And the size is something of a rarity now, as manufacturers try to make smaller and sleeker bodies to bridge the divide between laptops and tablets. And it does hinder this Chromebook a little here, being quite heavy. But the screen and space for decent speakers mean that it's a great option for your streaming needs. The CPU might only be a Pentium, but being one from 2021 means that it still has the power to keep any performance issues at bay, with the USH graphics chip helping to further performance over other Chromebooks as well. We'd recommend springing for the extra RAM to keep your browsing nice and responsive. Links to the Acer can be found in the description. Now, if you're the type that likes to have a million browser tabs on the go at any one time, the Asus CX9 will have all the firepower you need. Unfortunately, with a price that matches its performance, the Asus costs around £1,299. That's about as much as you would spend on a MacBook or a really nice Windows laptop. And that's the conundrum that the Asus poses throughout. There's no doubting the spec. The 11th generation i7 processor, bundles of RAM and Xe graphics means you won't be struggling for performance with the Asus, but all that hardware suggests they've missed the point of Chromebooks. With ChromeOS being browser and cloud-based, you begin to wonder why you need this much storage to begin with, and so it comes down to personal preference whether you'd go for this or maybe a MacBook or another Windows laptop. But if you do opt for the CX9, you'll have a performance beast housed in a sleek and light package. Link for this and all of the Chromebooks featured can be found in the video description. If budget is your main consideration when shopping for a Chromebook, then the Asus Chromebook CX1 might be the one for you, costing a very budget-friendly £236. ChromeOS is light enough for the 2016 vintage Celeron chip to cope with most Chromebook uses, though we can imagine a slight performance lag with large files and lots of browser tabs open. For that price, there are some compromises. The first is the feel. It feels a little plasticky. When you open and close the lid, it feels kind of flimsy, and you really wouldn't want to drop it from a table. And the other compromise comes with the screen. It's LED backlit, but we found it quite dim, while the resolution makes it feel like a screen you'd have put up with 5 years ago. But if you're looking for a model that you can do some light schoolwork or office work on without spending too much, the CX1 is for you. But when we were testing out these Chromebooks, one stood out for us, Acer's Spin 713, which costs £699. The Spin 713 has the 11th generation Intel processor, but drops it to a dual-core i3, as well as halving the RAM and storage compared to the Asus CX9. Or in non-tech speak, Acer has given us more than enough to handle our Chromebook needs while keeping an eye on cost. And then they take things up a notch with a touchscreen that can be turned to suit your needs. While it's a little heavier than we'd expect, Acer has definitely hit the bullseye when it comes to balancing spec, price, and usability. It ticked so many boxes for us that you might find it's the only computer you need. If the Acer looks good to you, the link in the description is where you can pick one up, as well as all of the other Chromebooks we've featured.